Hello, welcome back. My name is Anita, and I am reviewing my currently inked for the month of May. I had a pretty good month, and yeah, I'm really enjoying this fountain pen hobby. I just have to say that. Let's get into it. Alrighty, we are going to start with the TWSBI. This is my TWSBI Diamond 580 ALR in Punch Pink, and it is currently inked with Diamine Tinsel. It's from the 2023 Inkvent calendar, and this was a good combination. I don't remember if I did this back in December, but I know, no, I had it in a different TWSBI. I had it in the Rosso Eco-T that had come out toward the end of the year. It was in a red pen, so I was like, yes, it was in that pen with a broad nib also. So this was good. I now, in retrospect, wish I'd tried it in a medium nib, but I was going for the matchy, and it was good. The shimmer was heavy at the start of writing, and it kind of tapered off as I went down the page, but it was still good. We had no clogging issues. There were no hard starts. There was just inconsistent shimmer. It's hard to get that out, which I have found, depending, I guess, on how fine a shimmer is just a thing that comes with shimmer in your inks, which, you know, I don't care if I have it or not. I was just going for the match. So yeah, I didn't have any problems, and I didn't care about the shimmer. So if you care about shimmer, that's something to consider, finding the right ink where the shimmer flows more consistently. And I do agitate the pen when I pick it up, but not consistently as I write, because what for? Okay, next pen is my Laban 325 in Sakura. That's such a pretty pink. And it is currently inked with Robert Oster, Rose Gold, Antiqua. And it's another combination that I totally enjoyed. It was nice, well lubricated. This ink has shimmer, and there were no issues with any clogging because of that. But at the same time, the flow was not consistent. I agitated the pen, which I just kind of like rub it between my hands when I'm ready to start writing. But I don't I don't intermittently do that when I write. So if it's for that reason or other reasons, I don't really know. And since I am not, you know, team shimmer like that, I don't really care. But it's an observation. This particular ink with shimmer, maybe it needed more attention to keep the shimmer flowing the way it's supposed to. But it did not clog, it did not hard start, it was great, but this is a broad nib, so something to consider also. And I liked writing with it. I enjoyed it. The next pen is my Kaweco Skyline Sport with a double broad nib. The color is Macchiato, and it is currently inked with Diamine Masquerade from the 2023 Inkvent calendar. And this this is gonna sound funny. I had to add, this isn't the funny part, I had to add a tiny bit of ink wetter to get this to flow better. But I have learned over the course of the past year or so that Kawecos tend on the dry side with inks, and maybe the shimmer caused it. I don't know. I had a tiny bit of ink wetter, and it was better. It was much better. That sounds so funny. Ink wetter made it better. Anyway, that made it better. But I found myself, every ink I've put in here since I used the cartridge, the black Kaweco cartridge that came with it, that was amazing. It was so good. And everything after that has not measured up. So I don't know. I might just have to get some black Kaweco cartridges to use with that from time to time, because it was really like, wow, this is so good. It was really good. Anyway, but it wasn't bad, but it did need a little help from the ink wetter. Next pen is my TWSBI Eco-T in Saffron, and it's currently inked with Robert Oster Whiskey. This was good. This pen has a medium nib. The Kaweco previously was a double broad, okay? This has a medium nib, and honestly, it was good. I had zero complaints, nothing to complain about, nothing at all was a problem. The color is gorgeous. It's a lovely shade of gold. It's just, it was so good. I just wished I had a broader nib. To be specific, I wish I had a stub so I could see more shading because it was just so good. I really enjoyed this. And I just put a tiny bit of ink in here. I didn't fill it up because I didn't want to have to use this and not waste ink because I don't recycle ink and I don't like throwing it away if it's a good writing experience. And I figured it would be good, and it was freaking awesome. So yeah, I'm going to finish it. I think I'm going to have to put that color on my to buy list because I loved it. It was really, really, really good. Okay, this list. So my Jinhao 82, and the color I called this is transparent pink because I mixed it, I frankenpenned it, and I have the nib from a transparent pink pen, and I put the finials on from that pen, and the rest of the pen is green. It is currently inked with Ferris Wheel Press Moss Park Green, and this was dry. Beautiful ink, beautiful shading, not in this pen, just not what's up. I did not reach for this. I did not reach for this. I just did not, I wasn't feeling it at all. Just not even a little bit. Let's see how much ink is in here. There's still a lot of ink in here. Well, I would say about 2/3 of the converter. I am going to finish it because that's just what I do. I mean, it didn't suck so bad. It just wasn't so great. And I love the color. That's the only reason I'm really going to finish it, because I do not recycle ink. I either use it or I throw it away. And it wasn't so bad, but compared to my other pens this month, relatively speaking, it was so bad. It was just too dry for my personal taste, and I did not enjoy it. And it's going off to the side. I will make notes and jot lists, and when it's gone, I won't do that again. I'm going to skip ahead because, contrary to that pen, I also put Moss Park Green in my Majohn A1, which is inspired very heavily by the Pilot capless or Pilot vanishing point, whatever you call it, wherever you are. This pen has a fine nib, yeah, my one and only fine nib, and it's also inked with Ferris Wheel Press Moss Park Green, and this was a good experience, but I did have to help it. It didn't really want to write with the ink at first. I'm like, what's going on? It was just very hard starty. It was like weird because I'd used this pen previously. I don't remember which ink. I didn't look back. I just was too lazy for that. So I said, you know, let me just try a tiny bit of ink wetter. So I did that, and ooh, it was lovely. So yeah, definitely will be finishing this one up, and I think I'm going to try a more standard, more reliable ink in it when it's done, because even though it's a fine nib and I don't really find joy with fine nibs, I love writing with this pen. And eventually I will get down the list, the mental list, to picking up an actual Pilot vanishing point, but not yet. There are other pens I want, and yeah, the Pilot verdigris is going away soon. It's this year. It's going to be phased out, discontinued, whatever you want to call it. And I have to get that because I just love that color. And yeah, so the vanishing point will wait. It's not going anywhere. They just keep coming out with different iterations and different flavors, and I'm not worried about that. There will be a vanishing point when I'm ready. But that verdigris, I have to go get that one. Okay, so this was good with the ink wetter. Teeny tiny bit. Oh yeah, that was good. So I'm going to try it with a more standard ink, not an ink that runs dry. I'm going to either use an Iroshizuku ink, or I'm going to use my one and only Waterman ink, Waterman Inspired Blue. And we'll see how that is next month. So that pen will be back with a new ink when the Ferris wheel press ink is finished. Okay, this was a carryover from April. It is my Esterbrook Estie in Winter White, and it's currently inked with Diamine Sugar Snap. And I love this green. It's a little punchier than I really go for, but I still enjoyed it. It has a silver shimmer, which I could live without. And as per me and shimmers, I give the pen a little rolly roll between my hands before I start writing, but that's it. I don't keep doing that, you know, as I'm writing. I'm like, oh, let me just, you know, give it a little wiggle again and get that shimmer rotating around. No, I'm not doing all that. It's just too much thought, and I'm not, no. It's lucky I do it at the start because I don't care about shimmer. That's why. Anyway, I love the base color. So I enjoyed this, and it didn't hard start, it didn't skip, it didn't clog, it didn't anything. It was just good. And this Estie has a broad nib. You see a little shimmer hanging out in the feed, but that's fine. And I still have quite a bit in there, but I'm a little bit behind on my journaling. So this pen isn't going to be back next month. I already know that. I'm just going to finish my journaling, and then I will just do my lists and jots and whatever I feel like doing, and it will not be in the currently inked official. It will just be getting used up. It was good though. I still like that. I'm just surprised how much I like that one. Okay. Next Estie, it's my Sea Glass Estie. This one has the gold trim, and it's medium nib, and it is currently inked with Wearingeul Path. And I've told the story before. I didn't realize this ink had a shimmer. I ordered the sample, I think from Van Ness, and I didn't look at the bottom of the vial to realize that it was a shimmer ink, and I don't remember it when I ordered it because I'm not really looking for shimmer. So when I used it, I think in December, that's when I realized, oh, there's a shimmer. Okay. Yes, so funny. So anyway, I made sure to get some shimmer in this time, and it kind of does the same thing where it fades out. I guess that's just a shimmer thing, but not so bad as some of the other pens that I used, like the Tinsel in the TWSBI, or Rose Gold Antiqua and Laban. It wasn't like that. It was a little better handling it. It has a gold shimmer. It's very pretty. It's a nice warm olivey green, and I have no complaints. And when the pen is dry, I am going to clean it and put it away. I'm not sure if it'll be back next month. I may bring it back one more time. I haven't decided, but it was good. I have no complaints. Now, next to last pen. Last pen was a late edition, but I didn't really use it. This pen I did use. This is a Jinhao Centennial 100. It's got a medium nib, and it's currently inked with Waterman Inspired Blue. Now, it was just good. It was just good. Oh my goodness. I was having a moment. I have one more pen after this. Two more. Not one, two more pens after this pen. This was so good. The ink is a lovely match to the barrel of the pen, which I like that. And it just flowed so well. And it's such a pretty blue. If you like blues, if you like, you know, turquoisey blues, this is your blue. It's so pretty, and it shades so beautifully. I can see myself getting another bottle of it. I can totally see that happening. Totally see it happening. Because I just use it in the pens now to try it out. I have used about half an inch of the bottle. Oh, wow. That's a lot. I mean, it's a sizable bottle. I think it's a 30 ml. No, it's a 50 ml bottle. I can see myself using that up. I love that color. It is so great, and it's so inexpensive. 50 mils was like, I don't know, I got it on Amazon for like $10, $12, I forget. I'll have a link to that ink on Amazon if you're interested in it. It's so good, and it's a good ink to just try out in a new pen. Like, it's just so good. Pick your color, the color that you don't mind just looking at over and over to try out a pen, and get a bottle of that in a Waterman ink. And it's good also, I'm told, and have seen and heard, in vintage pens. So if you've got a new vintage pen, well, new to you, that's a good ink to use. Anyway, if you know different or know others, y'all comment down below. I like to hear from y'all. This was so good. So good. Oh my gosh. I think I might bring this back next month, because that's how much I love it. I feel slightly emotional. This was really, really good. Really, really good. Oh my gosh. Finally, next to last is my Lilac Estie. It's got a broad nib, and it is currently inked with Pilot Iroshizuku Murasaki Shikibu. And oh wow, yeah, I have to catch up on journaling. My converter is still almost full, but this is awesome. This is such a lovely combination. I have nothing bad to say in any way, shape, or form. What can you say bad about an Iroshizuku ink, except that I don't like the color? That's the only complaint I could fathom, is the color is just not for you. If that's the case, you just choose a different color. This was good. It was good, good, good. And honestly, I love purple, but I'm getting tired of looking at that pen. I don't know if it's going to be back next month. The converter's almost full. I have journaling to catch up on. I don't know. Anyway, yes. So just looking at my notes, yeah, it was just like I said. The sleeper surprise that I didn't expect it to hit me so hard was the Jinhao. This pen with the Waterman Inspired Blue was so good. And the shading, it was just so good. All right, one more pen, which I picked up, in the middle of the month, May 13th, was the Delta Duna in red abalone. It's got a medium nib, and it is inked with Waterman Inspired Blue. I just did a writing sample. I jotted a few lists with this, and then that was it. I said, no, I'm going to wait and give it its full month of joy in June, because I have all these other pens. I literally have 11 pens, and this was number, well, actually I have 12, and this was number 13. So I decided that I would wait to really use it. And I haven't written with it in probably a couple of weeks. We're at the end of the month. Hello, Thursday. It did not miss a beat. I haven't picked this pen up probably in a couple of weeks. Yeah, it's at least a couple of weeks. So I was going at it the first few days that I got it. 13, 7 is 20, 7 is 27. Yeah, the first few days I used it a lot, and then I said, no, just focus on the other pens, give them more attention. You can get back to this one. And then I put another pen on top of it, and then I forgot about it. I literally put it out of my head. So this is a good one. It's so good, and it's in that Waterman Inspired Blue, and we're going hard with this baby in June. So yeah, I'm putting it back to the side, and yes, it was great. But I only used it a few days, and then I purposely left it be until Saturday. Saturday's June 1st. Yay. Okay, so my top 3 pens for the month. Easy, easy. Number one, let's just start at the top. This one. And honestly, it was just the color. It was the color. The color. It wrote well. and it didn't give me a lick of trouble. It didn't skip. It didn't hard start. It didn't do anything except write, just what it's supposed to do. It was great, and I love the color. The shading out of a medium nib. Wow, that's winning. I was excited. Okay, and number 2, just because, just because this was so emotional. I love my Leonardos, and yeah, I see more of them in my life, but this pen didn't get as much love because I was really loving the Inspired Blue. The Leonardo Momento Zero Grande. I did talk about this pen, weird. 2.0 in Planetary Nebula, medium nib, and it was good. I love this color too. It's inked with Pelikan Edelstein Apatite. I feel like I didn't talk about this. Maybe I skipped it. Maybe I've lost my mind. I may have. Okay, this is a top pen though, and I have not a bad thing to say. Let's look at the ink. The ink is still rolling along. I'm behind on my journaling. I need to catch up. Pen will be back. This pen will be back because I love this pen. I love it visually. I love how it performs, and I love the ink in it. So this will be back. This pen is number 2. Another pen, I don't remember if I spoke about it because I think I've lost my mind, is the other Leonardo. What in the world is wrong with me? This Leonardo Furore, nice classical cigar shape in aqua petra, and this pen is currently inked with Andoryllium Banded King Shoemaker Butterfly Blue, and this ink shades like a beast. This pen has a medium nib, and you can see the shading and the writing. So yeah, I love this pen. I love the way it looks. These are like my happy colors. The ink, it's a little on the dry side, just like the Pelikan Edelstein ink. It's a little on the dry side, but when you've got a wet writer, you don't even see that. You don't feel that. I only remember it when I use the inks that are so great in the Leonardos and pens that are not really great with dry inks. So yeah, this was amazing. I loved it. This was, where would I rate it? I'm not sure, but I loved it. I'm sorry I left that out. Okay, so we're all over the place. I've covered everything. So the top 3 pens. Number 1 is the the Jinhao Centennial 100 in this lovely shade of blue. Number 2 is the Leonardo Momento Zero Grande 2.0 in Planetary Nebula. And number 3 is hard. Number 3 is hard. Number 3 is really hard. Okay. Okay. Number 3 is the TWSBI Eco-T in Saffron, inked with Robert Oster Whiskey, medium nib. And it's because the color was just so great. It was just so, I love this. This was just nice. An honorable mention, because it was hard to decide. And what made me go for the TWSBI is the fact that it was not a shimmer ink, so there was nothing to complain about as far as the ink. Whereas with the Rose Gold Antiqua in the Laban, this is a shimmer ink in this pen. This pen has a broad nib, and the shimmer started strong and kind of faded away. I didn't care because I don't care about shimmer, but it still did that, and in an ideal world, it won't do that. So honorable mention to the Laban, because I'd still love the color. And these are my top 3 pens this month. These were the top 3, and yeah, actually 2 of the 3 will definitely be back in June. Okay, I think that's it. Yeah, I think I've talked about everything. Thank you so much if you made it to the end. If you like hearing from me and my fountain pen adventures and musings, please hit the subscribe button. It hangs out in the corner of the video to make life a little bit easier. And I will be back at you with a new video. I'm trying to decide what it's going to be. I've got so many things in mind, but let me know if there's something that you would like to see, like how to do something or how I do it. Like I had someone ask about ink swatching, which I have that on the list of things I need to do. Let me know if there's something that you would like to see, and I will put it on the list and see how quickly I can make it happen for you. In the meantime, until then, take care and have an amazing, amazing day. Bye-bye.